We have talked plenty about Sir Jim Radcliffe's interview, what he said in that interview, the importance of what he said in that interview, namely the 3-year project to bring Manchester United back to the top tier, back to that table, dining at the top with all of the best players, best teams in Europe. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you why it's not going to happen in this video now. So get comfy, stay tuned. I'm going to explain my process and why I don't think this will happen. And then tell me, in reality, with everything I said, and look at what is actually happening right now, if you agree or not. That's why the live show is here, to get your comments in and get you involved. Get your comments in later on as well after the show is finished. And let me know what you think on all of the points raised. We're going to have a little bit of a debate later on in this show as well. So make sure you stay in until the end. Give the video a like. And obviously subscribe to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Let's get on with this show. And how is everybody doing? It's been a long day, I would say, today, in terms of dissecting this morning what happened and everyone's comments after the Liverpool game. But really, everyone right now just wants to look forward again. Like after another game, United, we just want to try and wipe a season off, get rid of it. It shouldn't be happening at Manchester United. So Jim Radcliffe is in now. Ineos are taking charge this summer. And I think everyone just wants to get there and see what they do. Are we ever going to see anything different on the pitch? Can we get excited about going to United again? Can we be any different to what we always go into games like these days? Like what Roy Keane said, and I was talking about this morning, about always worrying going into matches because you don't know what Manchester United is going to turn up, and you don't know if any of the players are really going to give two shits about what happens on the pitch. That is everything and United in a nutshell. So Jim Radcliffe is looking to change all of that, and to change that, he needs to invest. Is he, in my eyes, willing to swallow the significant amount of money that it's going to take to get things moving? 3-year plan. Manchester United are on the brink of falling out of Europe altogether, and the costs of that are going to absolutely kibosh any hope of Sir Jim Radcliffe in getting United back to anywhere near challenging for the title. That's one. Like, we're expected to be picking up trophies in 3 years if you listen to what Sir Jim said. And this was always where I had the problem with it. It's like, how can you say 3 years? Like, the talk is that Manchester United won't be investing much. Now, I've done another show on if PSR changes. And if PSR does change, obviously we've seen today Everton have been punished again. If this does change and the meeting right at the end of the season goes ahead and everything gets ripped up from what is in place now with the Premier League's PSR rules, profit and sustainability, then everything I'm saying now also goes out of the window. But we'll stick to the original plan and everything staying as it is. Manchester United need revenues. They need gate receipts. They obviously need sponsorships, and they need to invest in this team. Now, without all of the incomings, Manchester United won't be able to spend that money, the money that's needed. Now, the problem I've got is it's like, are Ineos prepared to take the hit on the players that need to be moved on before anyone else is brought into the football club? Let's be honest, I'm just going to mention off the top of my head now 3 players, or not off the top of my head because I was thinking about it before actually, so I don't know why I said that. Sorry, I'm not trying to trick you there. But yeah, I've gone with Jadon Sancho, Casemiro and Danny van der Beek. Now, apparently, according to some football experts, Manchester United are not even looking at a central midfielder this summer, which is ludicrous. Left back, centre back and centre forward are the 3 priority positions for United. And yeah, I know we need them positions. We need them badly. But not going for a midfielder, you can forget about moving anywhere in the first year. Like, doesn't matter. Like, if you don't fix that midfield, then you can forget even getting back into the Champions League places in Ineos. Every United fan knows it. Every football pundit and expert knows it. So yeah, it all comes down to finances and how much money is left after them 3 players are bought. The left back, centre back and centre forward that I said. Sancho, Casemiro, Danny van der Beek. Are you willing to take the hit to move them players on to try and bring Manchester United back? Like this, why am I using them players? Because they're the players that we are going to take a substantial financial hit. When a player gets to the end of his contract, you sort of balance the business side of things with it. So it's like Harry Maguire, for instance, 80 million quid. We're going to get what, if we sell him this summer, maybe 20 at a push if we do manage to get him out the door. And everyone will say, we lost 60 million. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. Obviously, we've had Harry Maguire. He's played a certain amount of games. And in business terms, in football, you would see the contract's almost out and you get a little bit of money at the end of it. Sell him on, and that's it. You've balanced your books. That's why Harry's not in this. But Sancho's still 11 years left on his contract and still being of some sort of value. we're going to lose 40 million for Jadon Sancho if we sell him this summer. We need to sell him. We have to sell Jadon Sancho because no one in the fan base wants him back. There are a few, but I'm just going to go with the majority saying we don't want Jadon Sancho back. Casemiro is another player there. 30 million is looking like we're going to have to move him on just to get some money in. There are offers in from Saudi Arabia. We already know this. And Casemiro is starting to flag a little bit. Like, one season was good. He's been all right in spells this season, but you can see the deterioration. And Manchester United, having spent so much money, what are we going to get for him when he's still got another 3 years left on his contract after this season? 30 million? Well, there's another 30 million loss. So that's 70 that they're going to have to take the hit on Ineos. And then Donny van der Beek, I'm just saying 40 million because it was a complete waste of time and we're not going to be able to sell him for a penny, I don't think, this summer. More money gone. 2 midfielders gone and 1 forward gone. And we're not looking at bringing in a central midfielder. I told you, we're not going anywhere unless something happens in that midfield. We've got issues all over the place. That added to the fact that this season could end up being that bad that we don't finish up in any position to warrant a place in any European competition next season. It is a massive reality. It is. Like, you can cheer all you want about scraping a draw against Liverpool, but like we said yesterday, and like I said again this morning, it really, really doesn't matter. It doesn't in the long term. In the long scheme of things, Manchester United drawing against Liverpool is completely wrong for us going forward because, well, it's another point. 2 more dropped and everyone behind us closing the gap. If we do not get into Europe next season, Manchester United are looking at massive losses. The Champions League, we're already looking at average, about 40 million that we're going to lose that we had this year. And that's for just being crap in the Champions League. That's how much money we are going to get out of this term. The Europa League, if you go all the way, you're looking at maybe 15 to 20 million. I think United could get far in the Europa League at least, although the way we've played certain times this season, that's debatable as well. So that money's not there. So where is Ineos' money coming from? Like, they have to really put their hands in their own pockets to try and finance this. And then if PSR doesn't change, then how are they going to balance them books? Like, everybody knows that Manchester United need to move players on first. We're not going to get a lot of money. We've already talked about Mason Greenwood. We talked about Sancho. We're talking about him again today. You're not going to get that much money for him. Ineos have to cover this somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, taking chauffeur-driven escorts away from certain members of staff and taking away corporate credit cards, that's going to not really scratch the surface, is it? Let's be honest. It's going to get nowhere near the real issue. The real issue is it's Manchester United being out of Europe, having players that we don't want, that are worth nothing, that we spent an absolute fortune on. How are Ineos going to make that happen in one season? Because the first season needs to really hit the ground running because, again, the 3-year plan, it's not going to work. You need to be sort of making room now in this first summer and then looking next season to really be closing that gap. By the third season, year 3 of this so-called plan, fans are going to be asking, where's the trophy? Where's the title challenge? Why are we not in the Champions League? You are not going to get there with what we are dealing with right now. Like, Donny's coming back, Sancho's coming back, you got to deal with Mason Greenwood. Then you've got all of the players that the fans are not happy with at the club at the moment. Your likes of your Luke Shaw, your Harry Maguire, your Marcus Rashford, some saying Bruno Fernandes. All of that in one summer. There's 1 year wiped off, gone. Then you've only got 2 years. If he changes the manager, he's got to try and hit the ground running with all of this carnage going on in the background as well. So you can see why I think this 3-year plan is not going to work. Every single time I look at it and look into it and like what we've got to do. Unless he's trying to fix the stadium and do a new stadium build in all of this as well. It is an impossible challenge for me, I see. And like, go for it if you want. Like, prove me wrong. Get me and this United fan base back supporting a team that's going to be Champions League and challenging for titles in 3 years. Go for it. I don't know how you're going to do it. Because if you listen to, like I said, the so-called experts, they're saying that United are only looking at 3 targets this summer and a midfielder, a central midfielder, which is desperado for us. If that is the case, then forget it. you can add another 2 years onto it. I said 5 years. I don't see 3 years being in the reckoning at all for Manchester United and turning this around. I really don't. I want to come into the chat early on this one, guys, to get your opinions on this. I didn't give you too much of a chance this morning. Mel says, I disagree, Adam. I'd like Jadon Sancho back. You may be in a minority. Sancho has to go no matter what, says the Saint. That kind of bounces back on that one for me again there. David says, it's a lack of quality sides in the Premier League nowadays compared to past seasons. Newcastle equals Championship, and then Eddie Howe came with the right manager in place. Players will perform on the pitch. Casemiro is carrying an injury from the looks of it. Isn't everyone carrying an injury at Man United right now? Like every time a player goes to ground, it's like, this is my chance to get off here and get out of here. We need to get to Debo, Branthwaite, then get Varane out because of wages. So Martinez, Branthwaite, then bench is Todibo and Cambuala. What about Evans? What about Maguire? You know what I mean? You've got to get all that sorted before. You have to make the room before you can bring... Yeah, you can sort of get the players in line ready to go, but Manchester United cannot afford to bring anyone in unless they balance their books already. Like, we're in a better position this financial year if PSR doesn't change. If it changes, we're good. We can spend a lot more money, and we can even go a little bit beyond in terms of what we're spending and what we have been spending recently. We can take a bit of a risk as long as the structure is completely confident in them players that they're bringing in, because you can only risk it too many times before it catches up with you, and United know that better than anyone. Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, people like this won't allow that to happen, especially Omar Barada and his history. So where I am confident there, it's a different ballgame when it comes to actually moving on these players. Like, we are going to have to take the hit. If not, it is not going to happen. Are Ineos willing to lose this amount of money? Are they willing to probably subsidise a Harry Maguire moving on if they want to get him out of the club? If they said that standards are going to go up, then the players that have failed over the last few years are going to have to be moved on, and nearly everyone in this squad is a part of that. So how do they balance who is the problem and who needs to go alongside the players that desperately need to go before you bring in the really important players that have to come in one summer with a Euros and an uncertainty of a manager? It's too much. Year one, gone. 2 years left for this plan for United to be back again. These new players that are coming in then have to find their feet and deal with the expectation and pressure of United needing not only to perform to United's so-called level, but also catch up with this 3-year plan and the expectation levels of it. So Ineos, again, I think have just set themselves up for a bit of a fall on this one. Everything else they're doing is great, but the 3-year idea, make it 5, and then we might be talking. Guys, let me know. Get your comments in now. I want to know what you're saying. We need to be smart with money and the right age with players. We can all see we need a proper number 6. Javi Guerrero is very good at Valencia. Sancho being toxic at every club. One on the Sancho. There's a bit of a debate going on in the Sancho comment section right there. I was only listening earlier, so thanks for gifted membership. Guess always. Did you get one? I thought that would be amazing. Well done. They can't sell the players they need to sell. They make too much. Well, they can if they're willing to take this hit, Hunter. That's what I'm saying. We should be giving more kids chances now. We've seen how positive it is, and half this lot need clearing out. More than half, I would say. Mumra says, unfortunately, United will face financial hit while trying to sell players with ridiculous wages. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying, mate. That is something that Ineos are going to have to accept. If they don't, then you can forget about anything moving forward. Graham says, people who think Martinez is a sure thing need to think again. He will be restarting his career again. Sure thing in what? Performance or just being fit, Graham? I'm not sure. I don't know if you've had a comment or said something else before that, but just clarify that for me, please. Let's see. Evening, Jan. Hope you're doing good. Instead of 1 billion on a stadium, 1 billion on players. Yeah, there's no guarantee of income coming from the players. I think that's the problem, where there will be with a stadium. Ineos can't be blindly trusted. The trust has to be earned. Do you trust them? I don't. I don't trust anyone in football, to be honest. I trust people who put the money where their mouth is, because they're going to want something back from it. And if it is performance related and you're willing to put that much money into a sporting control of someone like United, then I'm going to go along with that, because they do need to provide. They do. And Barada, Ashworth, Wilcott, it looks like they're making the right moves. So everything, I'm willing to give them all the time. I just don't agree in the 3-year plan. Like, I would change it. Change it now. Like, just say, look, no, they're not going to, are they? He can't come back on it. Someone like Sir Jim can't come back and say he's going to change it now from 3 years to 5. It would look like an absolute clown. Please give the video a like, everybody. Let's get up to that 100 mark. Almost there already. Only 16 to go. Thank you. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well if you're tuning in for the first time. We are talking about Manchester United, Ineos's, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 3-year plan and how it won't work. The players that need to go out are going to have to take a financial hit on. We're going to have to bring new players in who are going to have to adapt. There's players in the current squad that are not good enough and still need to be moved on as well. Can we do that all in the summer? Well, managing to get a manager through the door, a new structure, all finding their feet in one summer, 1 year gone, 2 years left, everyone's got to adapt. I just don't think it is feasible. I don't think it's possible that we turn this around in 3 years. I really don't. And Ineos, if they want to, are going to have to take a substantial financial hit in getting rid of some crap that is at this football club. You're going to have to pay to get that poison out, I'm afraid. And there is a simple solution. There really is. If there is 70 million plus on the table for a certain Withenshaw Eusebio, or now changed Belfast Bebe, you take it. It's not going to make us any worse. You've cleared all of the finances that you would have lost in the Champions League and some, and you can invest it into another player at the football club. You could sell Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford and make 100 million and just invest that into the squad straight away and make Manchester United better than what we are. 2 players, if we lose them this summer, that are going to, well, it's not going to change. Nothing will change if Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho leave Manchester United this summer. It's not going to change our fortunes. It's not going to make us any worse. Because I'm pretty certain Sancho, who's offered nothing, and Rashford, who's offering next to nothing, we could bring anyone in. I'm not going to just bring anyone in because that would be stupid. Obviously, we have to invest it right. That's clear. But another player coming in that is properly the structure is properly recruited is always going to make Manchester United better. It's like we're better with Anthony playing than Rashford right now, and that's been proven in the last 2 games. When all the pressure's on and everything's going off, Anthony stepped up. Still not to the right level, but definitely more than what Rashford is. So where there is a problem, there is a solution. Are they willing to really back up their words and what they were saying? Football has to come first. It's not about gain, it's not about money. If it's not about money and the commercialisation of certain players, then Rashford is the perfect example. And the one player that can hold a bit of value and is still, for some reason, within even members of the United fan base and football fans around the country and Europe, still holds great value. It's time. It is time. Move him on, and you are on the right road. You get some money for Rashford as well. I mean, I just think it's a no-brainer right now. We've had the best out of him. He's not going to get any better at United. He's not. It's not going to happen. I'd be amazed if I was proved wrong on that one. I'd gladly take the L again, but like I said, I just don't think it will happen. Into more of your chat, guys. Anthony Wisdom. In reality, it's 5 to 10 year plan, Adam. I'd rather Ineos were honest and realistic and stop the delusion. They would need to get rid of 12 players and pump millions in over 3 years. Can't see it. This is exactly what I said, Anthony. I think you just backed me up perfectly on that there. That unless they're willing to pump in, like, to clear all of this, like, the money that we're going to lose from certain players, fine. How much can we pump in to cover not being in Europe and have to force some players out of the door, like take the hit, like pay off certain players' contracts as part of the transfer fee as well, like Harry Maguire. if someone offered, say, 25 million, we're probably going to lose 5 million to pay off his last year. Pretty much like it was last season with West Ham. We didn't do it, but this season we're a year gone and he's less to pay off his contract. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's where we're at the end of the day. And it's difficult, I know, but the reality is, like, the big calls that are needed and the big changes that are needed at this football club, they have to come from Ineos now. And how connected are they to this team right now? Like, for me, it's the perfect opportunity for Ineos to come in and go, look, we've got no allegiances to everyone, to anyone at this club. We've come in and we've seen them play absolutely shit for the last 3 months. There is no reason, and no one would even question Ineos getting rid of certain players out of this team right now, or even taking a hit. It would be the biggest statement that they could make, and it would get so many people on board. It would just turn the whole fan base if Ineos started moving players on, even if it hit them financially a little bit, just clearing the decks and taking as little as they possibly can out of any deal that they can get from players. Like, if it's like Harry Maguire, if it's Marcus Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, Donny, all these types of players, first team players, that all of them, if you right now got rid of, would you be concerned? Would you have a sleepless night as a United fan if Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford, Donny and Harry Maguire were all sold this summer? Are you going to lose sleep and think, what are we doing? We are going backwards. No one would. Even the biggest Marcus Rashford fans. Like I said, Maguire, he's done good this year, but he's coming to an age now and he's not going to get any better. Like, we're stuck in 6th and 5th if Harry Maguire is our main player. And he plays well to that level. We need to move past it. We're not going to get any worse if them 5 are gone. And we can bring in more mixture of youth, like Camberwell coming through. Another centre-back bought in the summer. You can see where I'm going with it, but it's going to take that financial hit and that support from Ineos and a real commitment to doing it. And I don't know if they are going to do it. And this is where everyone's at. It's like, fast forward this season. Get it over with now so we can find out what Ineos are really made of. Like, we've seen all the good work behind the scenes, but the real work starts as soon as that final whistle goes in that last league game, or even the FA Cup final if we beat Coventry. Like, there is going to be massive scrutiny all over every single decision that's made from that point going forward into the summer. And they have to move quick. I don't want to get into the Euros getting in the way, but it really is getting in the way of what Ineos need to get done, which is a lot of work. Back into the chat again. Stephen Harper, I think Mr. Waistcoat has guaranteed him a squad place. Can't see him starting any games, to be honest. There are no stories coming out that, thankfully, there are some people at Manchester United who are not keen on Gareth Southgate. Yeah, I look at that and I go, I'm positive, but then I'm going, well, it really doesn't matter what certain people at United think about Gareth Southgate. The only people that really count when it comes to Gareth Southgate are Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Like, they're the 3. If they like him, then we could just have to put up with it. They're not going to look at a Manchester United fan base and go, we've got to listen to the fans, they know best. Like, they should listen to some parts of it because the fan base are important. They know what they're watching. You cannot kid the fans. They should definitely speak to the fans regarding the stadium side of things, and I think that will come. But when it comes to the big decision, like, we're not going to have a say. We're going to have to just lump it, and we'll be on here bitching and moaning. I will, because I don't want Southgate. I really don't. I think it's the wrong move. If they do bring him in, then I think they're going to lose a lot of support from a lot of United fans. It would be the worst possible move that they could make. But yeah, there are supposedly a lot of people at United. Hopefully they can make them voices heard. Like, I don't care for a lot of what United staff have to say. I think they should all just get back in their positions and in line. But if they can get a voice heard and convince Sir Jim and Ineos that Gareth Southgate isn't the right man, then I'm all for that side of things. So go for it. Yeah, let's have it, please. Adam in the comments says, Adam, why is Erik ten Hag still there this morning? We cannot get any worse with anyone else the rest of this season, sorry. he's going to be here till the end of the season. It does not matter what anyone thinks. Ten Hag's going nowhere. I mean, we talked about the positives of moving him on now. I mean, you could get another manager in. If it is going to be the manager that Manchester United are employing in the long term, then it's worth getting rid of Ten Hag for the club, because the new manager can come in, find his feet early, have a little look at some of the players in real competitive games and not have to do it all in one pre-season quickly, and then start making some decisions with the new structure that's in place with Ineos right now. So I don't think anyone is available right now who United want. And this, I think, the manager situation is coming down to the fact that the candidates out there are either not available or not good enough. And Ineos are right when they don't jump the gun and just bring anyone in. So take your time. If Ten Hag staying till the end of the season means that they don't want certain managers and they're taking their time and making sure that the decision is right, I'm all for it. Like, that needs to happen. That's how it should be done. So, yeah, not concerned about how long Ten Hag lasts from now until the end of the season. I think he will be here until the end anyway. Stu says, us fans are just consumers as far as clubs and England care. We're just there to pay into it and watch. Our opinion never gets heard. UK strains, we should be looking at a manager who is doing bits in lower leagues. They are the future of football. All it takes is the right man and style. I disagree, UK strains, not at United. It needs to be someone who can handle a lot more pressure, and it needs to be a manager that is used to actually handling certain players and certain types of football opposition, like knowing what's coming. Like, that's why I always said Julian Nagelsmann is the best man for the job. If Ten Hag is going and they want a new man in, I feel like he's managed at all levels. I've said this before about him: youth, international, high level, and then even higher at Bayern Munich, and actually winning major trophies and handling high pressure players, high pressure situations at a big club with big expectations. I think that's the type of manager you need. And he's also got a few more years behind him as well. Like, he's already been and done his bit at Bayern Munich, and I think he's been stung there, and he would have learnt from that. So I think that type of manager in that position, who has been around a little bit but still at that young age, I think is perfect. And that's where I would go. Adam, do you think Highland is going to be good enough moving forward? I don't personally. Give me Tony any day. No, Lee, I do think Highland is going to be good going forward. I think we have got a good player there. He's lost his way a little bit since that injury. That did scupper his form and his progression going forward. He was in good form and it just completely fell off. Like, he's come back. He's not looked the same player. Maybe it'll take him a few more games. Chopping and changing constantly, and I think it was good that he got a full game against Liverpool. I think he would have been off if Rashford didn't go off injured, though, still. I think that's what Ten Hag likes. But I do still believe in Highland, I do. I think he is a good player. I do think we need another striker, though, just to add to that. Nathan says, would love to see Erik Ten Hag given another season. We've literally failed at every other rebuild option in the past. It comes down to Ineos again, Nathan. Like, what do they want? Do they believe that Ten Hag, again, like I said at the top of this video, is the man to take them over the line when in this 3-year project? Again, it was another big issue that was actually there for Ineos to deal with this summer. And whether they stick with him or not, it is still going to be a big problem, I think, because Ten Hag has to change and fall into line with everything that they want. Clinton says, any new manager is getting sacked within 2 seasons. At least Erik Ten Hag is doing wonders with the youth system. He's not doing wonders with the youth system. The system's working itself, and Ten Hag is just tapping into it, as a good manager should. Like I said, he is very lucky that he's had this good crop of players that the academy has really got itself in order to produce. Like, you've got to give credit to the staff involved at Manchester United's academy, and like, Ten Hag is a big part of that, yes. But I just think he's been lucky he's got this group of players, because they're outshining every single one of his players that he's brought in, and outshining the regular first-team players that you would expect to know what is needed at Manchester United, but clearly showing every single week that they do not care. Satish, Ten Hag has no style of play, no tactics, and must go. We need Julian Nagelsmann, says David. Agreed, like I just said. No managers out there. If you get Jose back, you're finished. I don't think Jose's coming back. Managers have seen how this club is run. They don't want any part of it. Poison chalice, probably. Ineos, we've listened to the fan base and decided against hiring Southgate. We are excited to present our new manager, Big Sam, says Frederick. Completely extracting the urine there, Frederick. I like it. Ten Hag's face tells me he knows his future, says Boxing Straight Talk. Dead man walking? Maybe. Boxing. Roddy, come on you Reds, hit the like button please. That's it guys, please do give the video a like. Let's get up to that 150 mark. Subscribe as well. Download our SofaScore app with the QR code bottom right hand corner, or drop in the description guys. Press the link there right at the top if it's easier for you. It's completely free. It is the best football app out there. They are our partners here on FUTV. Every download goes to helping the channel and us reinvesting into bringing you better content out there. So do support the channel that way by doing something for nothing. It's easy, innit? Let's see. Stephanie says, my turn on the 115 rotor. I like it. Everton getting stung by PSR again today. God, man. Oh, sort of clear. And then now 2 points away from relegation again. Like, it would be a pain to be an Everton fan right now, wouldn't it? It really would. The owners, Ineos, should only get involved when the club is hitting its targets. Isn't hitting its targets, sorry. Let the manager and the staff control the funds. Too much interference causing issues on the pitch. No, UK Strange, with a big fat N on that. And an O as well. You might as well put both capitals up there. No, Ineos need to be involved with the finances and not let the staff and the manager waste the money, because that is what has been the problem for the last 10 years. Too much power to the man in the dugout. Someone else above him needs to control the structure and the balance sheets, and that is what's happening right now. They can be fully involved for all I care, like it is at all the other big clubs. All of the teams ahead of us, they are all got involvement and a proper structure ahead of the manager. We are just too stubborn to follow that blueprint, in my opinion. Potter turned down Ajax. He must have a job offer in England. Gary, stop it now. Enough of Erik ten Hag. He only plays his favourites. He doesn't rotate enough. Julian Nagelsmann, help us please. Come save United. That's from Jason. Stephen Harper, do you reckon we could get Tony for 50 mil? I think he'll go for about 40-odd mil, but I just don't see him coming to United. I don't. They want to bring in a player and striker that's going to play second fiddle to Rasmus Highland. So if you like that or not, that's going to be another argument, another debate. Das Sweets, what happened to all levels up through the club? Play the same way the under-18s and shown up the first team. Yeah, it's... the under-18s play a fantastic brand of football. If you haven't had a chance to watch them, then please do. It's an eye-opener. It really is, as to how good these lads are. And you just hope that Ineos do grasp this opportunity that we've got right now in bringing these lads through and nurturing them through, and not hampering their career by bringing them into a first team that just is completely different to what they've been playing. Like, it should be the same style of football all the way through the club. I totally agree with that. That is a perfect football structure. It is. Like, recruit players that want to play and fit a certain style of play. Train your academy players to play a certain style. The manager should have definite contact like Ten Hag does. But if someone like Jason Wilcox does come in as well, that is where Ineos, I think, are working. Like, what's happening in the first team needs to be happening in the youth team, and needs to be happening in the under-18s, under-60, everything all the way down to the bottom. That's what needs to be happening. And I think that they will have that, I think. I think that's why Wilcox is coming in. And that gives me a little bit of confidence, at least, that they're bringing the right men in to make sure that the academy doesn't fall off. That way, we can then solely concentrate on getting the really important stuff done, which is getting a decent first team out on that pitch right now that can compete and get back up there. Then we can start bringing the youth players through to strengthen that first team. And it also means the youth players will be coming through into what is a a better atmosphere, a better run first team, and a better chance for the youth players to actually prosper going forward as well. Enhancing their game, maybe even. The other players and money grabbers are blocking the kids. Another reason to move them on, says Lee. Taking the words right out of my mouth. There's that blockers word again. What is our current style of play? I'm lost, says UK Strange. I think we all are, mate. We really are. Like, there is none, is there? There is no style of play, I don't think. I think it is like Hail Mary football. It is. Like, look at, I said it this morning, that Manchester United are a walking goal of the season contender. Massive, massive moments. Like, the brilliant goals that we have won games with because we've created nothing simple is staggering in one season. If you weren't watching the show earlier on this lunchtime, I rolled off a number of games that we've actually clinched a victory with an absolute stunner. Like, that has pretty much won goal of the month at that time. You're going all the way back to the start of the season, pretty much, when Bruno Fernandes smashed that volley in against Burnley. 1-0 there at Turf Moor. Great goal of the month. Dalot, top corner against Sheffield United. And we know how bad they are, to win 2-1 at Bramall Lane. Need I say more with the goals that Garnacho scored? He got the winner against Everton, which pretty much killed all of the game off in the first few minutes with that stunning overhead kick, goal of the century. And you look at the goals yesterday, 45-yarder, a curler into the top corner. That's just to get a drop. Like, literally, like, we create nothing and then score a worldie. Like, there's so many opportunities, so many times this season that has happened for United. And we've won games that we probably don't deserve to win with absolute belters, like goals of the season. Like, that's what it's been like. Eric Ten Hag football style, chaos football, embrace the utter chaos. Garnacho bicycle kick, yes, the Muppet Show, definitely. Bring in Roy Keane for now. No, Satish, that won't happen. As much as I was talking this morning about Keane talking sense, he's talking as a fan and he's talking as what we talk like, and we cannot manage a football team. None of us are qualified. We just have our opinion on what we can see is going wrong on the pitch. And then when our manager comes out and says, look, I don't care what everyone else says, the playing style is clear. Yeah, it's a big, big red flag. Carol is in the house. Carol, how are you doing? Not seen you for a little bit, actually. Sorry if you have been in there, but you've just flashed up on my screen as a member renewed for the last 4 months. Branchester and Moments FC United. New name, says Carol. Legend, Carol. Thank you so much. And cheers for your ever-growing and ongoing support to the channel as well, Carol. Love that. 4 months a member. Brilliant. Verbal is in, another member. What's up? How are you doing, Verbal? 150 likes in the bag just at that moment as well. Thank you so much, guys. Keep them likes coming in, people. We are smashing it today. One more day gone as we look ahead to the daunting test, which is Bournemouth away. Like, when did Manchester United fans head into a game against Bournemouth worried about what might actually be happening in that game? Like, seriously, that is concerning. It really is. We'll talk about that near the time. I'm not going to get into that and start scaring everyone just yet. But, yeah, it is right now for Ineos, I feel, a very difficult summer coming up, and one that's going to be looked at and, like I said, scrutinised all the way through. It is going to be... like, every single move they make from this moment now is just going to be put in focus by all of the media, especially with the media missing out on the Omar Barada scoop. Like, they're going to be all over everything Ineos do now. So, pressure is on. Pressure is on. And Carol, talking of legends and contributors, has just dropped 10 memberships in on the stream. The Saints, Jason McCarry, Noel Ryan, Mahinder, not Verbal, he's already won. Frankie Jazz 24/7. What is that name? USS 45, Popeye, Wows, Blitz. Okay, mouthful, but a member. Jay, welcome to the Members Club. David, welcome to the Members Club. RY, welcome to the Members Club. Davey, welcome to the Members Club as well. Yes, you all got memberships gifted by Carol. Please the one thing you need to do right now is get into the comment section and thank Carol. She is an absolute legend of the channel. Always drops in some free memberships for people every now and then. And again tonight, not only has she renewed her own membership, she's donated them to you guys. So please thank her in the chat. What a way to finish up a great show, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, Ineos have got a lot of work to do, but the FUTV army grows with every single show. Thank you all for your contributions, all of your comments, everyone involved. Smash the likes as well tonight, guys. Brilliant. And please do, like I said, download our SofaScore app. It is completely free. If you want to contribute and help the channel, just get onto that QR code or drop in the description and click on the link there as well. But for now, guys, that is you completely up to date with everything going on. Give the video a like on your way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are tuning in for the first time. I will see you all fresh tomorrow lunchtime with more content. And until then, have a great evening, people.